All right, here with Ryan Brown. Question for you. You are a golf absolute addict.
Absolutely. Yep.
Nothing wrong with that, is it?
No. I mean, I in general have an addictive personality. So that's one reason I don't smoke or drink or do things like that, because I know I'll become addicted. So my addiction is golf.
So does that cause a problem with your golf game? Because golf is not something you can addict and add more pressure to.
Yeah, so my biggest issue is I was never a great player by any stretch of the imagination. But I did play collegiately on a scholarship for 1 year. By the time I finished high school, I was a scratch golfer. I mean, my handicap was 0. And I can't play to that now, but I still have the memories.
That's gotta piss you off.
Brett, I mean, it wears you out because I can remember that game. I can remember having that game. So I dated my wife in high school.
Okay.
And one of her gifts to me was a golf journal. Now, this is 1990. It's probably 92, 93, 94. This is 94. And you would write your score, greens hit, putts, fairways hit, birdie. You know, you would keep up with everything. And I found it several years ago, and I'm looking through there, and it would be 68, 72, 73, 69. And I'm like, man, I could play this game one time. And now I can't.
That's what makes this game so difficult, and I see it with, I call them professional amateurs.
Yeah.
People who have a profession in one world.
Right.
They go and try to take what you've done to be successful, one of the largest sports radio shows in the Southeast. Mm-hmm. Fair?
Yeah, I mean, it's fair. I appreciate you saying that, but I do think it's fair. Yeah.
It is fair. It's a fantastic show.
Well, thank you.
I listen to it every morning. And you take that same energy that it takes to create that success.
Yeah.
And you assume that, well, I've succeeded here.
Right.
I'm going to succeed in golf.
Right. And it's doubly difficult because I have succeeded at some point. You know, I played junior golf. I won some junior tournaments. You know, I didn't do much with a golf scholarship, but I was able to get it at least.
Yeah.
So at least I had a certain level of success. So, yeah, you're right. I mean, I don't like to be a failure. You know?
Why is it a failure, though? Why is it black or white, all or nothing?
Because I've seen what it can be.
Okay.
I've seen.
So when you go on vacation, do you compare everything against the greatest vacation place you've ever been, or do you enjoy this city?
No, see, that's a great point, because by and large in something like that, you know, Nick Saban has a saying I like, be where your feet are, right?
Yeah.
And I think in a situation like that, I can be where my feet are, right? I don't have to compare. So I took my family to Disney last summer. Mm-hmm. Well, that will probably be one of the greatest memories as a father. You know, my 2 daughters seeing Disney for the first time, and it was an unbelievable vacation. I mean, there was nothing I would change about it, right? So maybe in the future I'll say, it wasn't as good as Disney, but I've never really done that. I don't compare. Now I compare meals.
Do you?
Yeah, I love great food. So I'll say, that meal probably wasn't as good as last night's dinner. But it doesn't mean I don't enjoy it. I still enjoy it. But golf is probably the only thing I really do.
But the difference there, though, this is where I think people struggle, is because you do analyze and you do put that effort in there, and then all of a sudden it's like, but I'm the factor as to why it's not as good.
Right. Yeah, that's a great point.
Whereas the meal, it's like, well, I mean, if you had said, oh, my God, I picked the wrong place.
Right.
Then you'd be ticked.
Right.
But in golf, you don't control the entire environment.
No, but I feel like I'm the biggest variable. See what I'm saying?
But how much control are you in of the golf course?
None of the course. I'm only in control of how I play the course.
So how do you do it in the radio? You're not in control of a listener's enjoyment of you.
To a certain extent, I am. I mean, I know what the listener likes to hear. I mean, I think we've got a good grasp on a Birmingham radio listener that is listening to WJOX, likes college football.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. The TV numbers tell you they like the NBA, especially in the playoffs. Birmingham always does very high in the NBA. Yeah. It's been a top 10 market in NBA playoffs. So people watch that. So, you know, you can look at some of that data and know what they like. I think they like us to have fun, and I do think our show, we have fun doing it. So to a certain extent, I can tell you what the listener wants to hear. Now, can we present it in an entertaining way? Because ultimately, you know, I tell people tell me all the time, oh, I think I can do sports radio. I know all the stats.
No chance.
It's nothing about stats. It's about being entertaining.
Yeah.
And can you present Alabama football, Auburn football, UAB football, SEC football in an entertaining fashion? So to a certain extent, I think we do control that. Now, I can't control really how a listener reacts. They either like us or they don't, right? I can't go to a listener's car and say, oh, no, you have to like me and you have to listen to me. And when the ratings book comes in, you have to write down that you're listening to me.
Do you look at social media comments?
No, I decided a long time ago.
Why?
Because I don't think social media is real.
No, it's definitely not.
Yeah.
But here's the thing that we do in golf. We look at the comments out there.
Right. What do you mean by that?
Well, think about it. You go out there, you're analyzing every decision, every shot you make.
Every shot.
And you were critical in judging yourself that you're not matching up against the supermodel you were back in the day.
Right. And I was not a supermodel. That's an overstatement. But
you were probably in the top 5 to 10% of people who play the game.
I wish I could be back there. But so, yeah, with social media, I just decided those people don't know me, right? They make rash judgments about something I say on the air, something they portray me to
Auburn.
be. Yeah, something
you hate Auburn.
Right, something they portray me to be. So they don't know me. They can't make a judgment about that by what they hear on the air. So I've decided a long time ago, criticism on social media is just going to roll off my back. I'm not going to let it bother me.
There's no value there.
There's no value. And I don't even know the people that are saying it.
There's no value there.
Right. If my wife or my father or my kids or you or one of my co-hosts said the things to me that were on social media, it would affect me. You're a friend. Mm-hmm. They're friends. They're my wife. They're my kids, my father. That would affect me. Stranger on social media saying something doesn't bother me in the least.
You mean NK1427.3
with
10 followers and following 100 people?
What do I care? He thinks I'm an idiot. You know, I don't even know who he is.
Right.
Right?
But isn't that funny, though, how we filter so well in one area of our lives?
Yeah.
Where you have the most success, and yet the area that you want to succeed, because when you leave a golf course every day, and you leave a golf course, there's a feeling of self-esteem that leaves when you get in the car.
No doubt. And I relive every shot. And even the good shots, you know, maybe I don't hit the putt after stobbing one, you know, with an 8-iron. I'm like, God, that was a great 8-iron, but I missed the putt. So what's it matter that I hit a great 8-iron? And to your point, the guys I play with, you know, if they were really critical of me, it would bother me. You know, oh, that was a terrible shot. How does a guy, you know, hit a shot like that? Yeah, that would bother me. So in that arena, but again, those are people I know, but it's also something I'm probably a little too critical of myself about. I get down on myself very easily
on the golf course.
Yeah, I do. Bad shots really stick with me.
What would you need in your golf game to give you confidence and more resiliency?
A more accurate tee shot. I really struggle off the tee. And some of it is mechanical, but the mechanical failures that I've had have become mental to me. So my mechanical failure, just to be really golf geeky, is I lose my spine angle on my tee shot. And what that has created is I lose a lot of golf balls right unless I flip it at the last minute. And I can either time out the flip and hit a bomb, or I don't time out the flip and I hit a snap hook. So I fear that snap hook so much. It's in the back of my – or probably in the front of my mind, honestly, when I'm standing on the tee box.
Yeah, it is.
And it affects the rest of your game. I mean, if you're not playing from the fairway, it's really hard to score in golf. So a more accurate tee shot would change my game. It would change. I don't know that I would ever get back to the golfer I one time was, because I was never the most talented guy. There were a lot more talented guys out there at me. I had to work. I had to play a lot and hit a lot of range balls to even get where I got. I was jealous of people that could just not touch the clubs for 2 months and come out and shoot a 69. I couldn't do that. So I don't have the time to devote to it. So I don't know that I could ever get back to that moment, but I could get a lot closer to it. I could get that feeling every now and then if I could just hit a straight tee shot.
That judgment is something, isn't it?
It is.
Because you can hear it in the way we talk. And I know we're going to go out on the golf course here real soon in a couple weeks. We're going to get that squared away.
I hope we can.
We will.
You'll be my best friend in the world if we do.
Sweet. You can give me some hooked up tickets?
Yeah, get
I'll find something. To the AAF or something?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I could get all those you want.
All those you want. I can front row seats.
Yeah, next AAF game, you just tell me. Anywhere you want to be.
Yeah. One question I have is having – we're going to fix the golf, but your secret to winning – in your business, you said I want to be entertaining, I want to have good content, I know what my customer wants, but what is your mindset when you go into that winning environment? Because you want to win. I mean, listen, it's competitive.
Well, I think there's an interesting balance in the entertainment industry, so that's what I don't consider us journalists. I consider us in the entertainment. We're trying to entertain people. So I think a TV show, a radio show, you know, writing books, whatever it is that you're trying to entertain people, the two things you can't do, and I think there's a balance between these two. You can't get complacent. You can't just assume I've been successful, I'm always going to be successful, because there's always something new starting up. And people, you know, their attention spans are very short. They're finicky people. They'll latch onto that new thing, and if it's better than you, they're going to listen to that, or they're going to watch that or read that. But the other thing you can't do is say, because of that, we're always going to change things. You got to know what's successful and stick with it. So you got to find the balance between knowing what's successful and sticking with it, and also not becoming complacent and saying, just because we've always done it this way, we're always going to do it this way. And that's a difficult balance to strike.
Yeah, the reason I ask that is because when you look at the evolution of media centers, one of your buddies, Clay Travis, I'm fascinated by him.
Right.
Because he's a disruptor.
Yeah.
And he still takes a lot of scorn.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Traditional journalists don't care for him.
Yeah.
But yet he's got following. Paul Feinbaum.
Yeah.
Much the same way.
Yeah.
Different. You guys have such a different angle. That's not your personality.
No.
You're not going to be the gotcha guy.
Right.
You're not going to be the gotcha guy.
Right. I couldn't do that.
You couldn't do that. That's not your personality.
Yeah. And Clay's different than Paul, too. I mean, they do get lumped together a lot, and I understand why. But, Clay's a very entertaining guy, and he has found his niche, and he has ridden it hard. And to do what he does and to do what Paul did, you've got to say, I don't care that people hate me as long as I'm making money off of them. Right?
Yeah, that's the weird thing, right?
Yeah.
That's our president.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And if I'm being honest, I don't want to be hated. I want to be liked.
Yeah. No. I get that.
So it would be difficult for me to say, I don't care how much you hate me as long as I'm making money.
What's interesting on your shows, you guys don't have a heel.
We really don't.
No, you don't.
A lot of people used to say we're too nice.
No, you have a smart ass a little bit.
Is that me?
No, with Rockstar.
Oh yeah, that is definitely him.
And he's brilliant.
Yeah, he's such a funny person.
His timing is brilliant.
Yeah.
LT gives you kind of the goofy, and you and Dunaway give you guys stability. You match your audience, I think, very well.
Yeah.
So when I listen to you two guys, I think, oh, that's us. That's just like us sitting around having a beer talking.
It's so funny you say that, because when we started the show, so for those that don't know the history, Dunaway and I were doing a show together, and they grouped us with Lance and Rockstar. And we knew each other, obviously. We're working together. But our goal from day one was, let's do a show that feels like we're in a sports bar, Buffalo Wild Wings or Baumhauer's or Walk-Ons, or I give you the Walk-Ons.
Yeah, Walk-Ons, here it comes.
So
they need to be major sponsors of the show.
I think they're going to be.
Yeah, they should.
So let's feel like we're there sitting at the bar having a beer and wings, and somebody just walks in and sits next to us. And do you know that's one of the most common you just said it yourself.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it's one of the most common compliments I get about our show is, I just feel like you guys are in the car when we talk, and we're at a sports bar and listening. And that was really our goal from day one. So it's funny that people actually say that, because it was a stated goal of ours.
It gets me thinking here is, like, as we wrap this up, is when you're thinking about golf, you had an intention of what you want the presentation to be. In golf, you're trying to recapture something.
I am, yeah.
Versus, today's a brand new day. Be where my feet are. Let's just play today and see what I can make the most out of it.
Right.
And the minute you hit a bad shot, my spine angle's off. I got to get this. Yep. Versus, let's make the most of it. Let's create it.
Yeah. And so much of it is affected by the way you played the last round. I would be so much better in this game if I were like these college football coaches that are so singularly focused that they're all about that one play or that one game or that one moment. And if I could flush a bad tee shot or flush a bad chip or flush a bad putt or flush a bad round, I would be so much better. And it's so odd that I know that. Yeah, I'd love it.
Tour players don't do it.
Oh, I'm sure they don't.
They can't. It sticks with us. If I kick you in the shin, you're going to feel it.
Right.
But what they do so well is they acknowledge that when they're playing well, it's not personal.
Yeah.
And I had a player tell me, I thought it was brilliant. He was kind of mentored a little bit by a buddy who's a professional poker player. He said, become the expert in the bad beats, and you'll win the great beats every time. And he said, we play, and is what I've always taught. Golfers play to fix problems. They practice to fix problems. And they play for their best round. They don't play for their average round.
That's true, yeah.
So we go out there and you hit 14 fairways.
Right.
Oh, but it wasn't as good as it could have been.
Right.
You hit 8 and you score well. It's like, well, if I would have done this.
Yeah.
I had a player tell me one day, he's like, man, I missed 3 inside 5 feet for birdie. I said, would you make any outside of 20? Yeah, I made 4. So you want to give those back for the 3 that you made, because you can't have it all.
And you're well above even the tour average probably outside of 20 feet if you've made 4 in a round.
Right.
So you're going to get upset.
Wait till I get you on the golf course, and that's what the rest of this video is going to be about.
I can't wait.
All right, man. Thank you.